Hey guys, you're watching one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Island Mansion. That's what we're going to call it. We've got the island. Last episode, the first episode of the series, we made the island and we terraformed some nice boulders with some different colours in there to really mix things up. We've got a nice sort of little beach area for the person who owns the island to enjoy. We'll have some nice chairs and umbrellas and stuff like that. We've got a spot for the dock and we worked it all out. Lighthouse, barn, etc, etc. Today, I want to make this island not look like a blank canvas. I want to start doing some not terraforming, but some trees and some greenery and stuff like that before we build the house. So I think what we need to do is we need to grab some grass blocks or some dirt blocks to place the trees on, because we're going to have trees on the boulders. Now we also want to have a range of different trees. We're going to want to have oak trees, we're going to want to have spruce trees as the two definite ones. I then might grab some dark oak saplings because it'll give the woods a slightly different colour. Birch, I might have a couple of birch. I'm not a huge fan of the birch logs, like the black and white parts, but I think if you do just like one or two of them, it might work. Jungle, we don't really want an acacia. I don't think we really want. We might use the acacia for some palm trees or something like that near the beach. But maybe, or we might just make our own custom ones. So we're also going to want some bone meal as well to speed the processes up. I know we can do it with World Edit and grow the trees ourselves, or do the trees with a click, but I think it's nice to have more natural ones. So we want, let's do a tree here. Let's do an oak one, and I think we'll grow them as we go. Oh, that's a really nice one. That's got some nice logs just growing out of it. Now we want these trees at all different heights, and we actually want to pretty much cover all of the boulder areas in trees. We don't want to be able to see the boulders that easily. We want to sort of look through the trees and look through the logs to be able to see the boulders behind it. Let's do the oak ones first. So let's have an oak one there, 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 there. Let's focus on the top first. You need to sort of do this in some sort of order, don't you? So sort of focus on the sort of higher top parts first. Like this. That one. That one. That one. That one. That one. Oops. That one. That one. Okay, I think that'll be good for the oak trees on the top. Maybe one down here. Like that. So, let's put the saplings on. And once I've sort of got this down, and once you sort of know how I'm going to do this, I should cut away to do the rest of the trees. Obviously, we don't want to be doing this for the entire episode. That would be dull and boring, wouldn't it? So we'll have that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And I might just let them grow naturally, or I might, but no, we'll bone meal them. So we'll bone meal this one. There we go. Some of them might take a little while to grow because of like the boulders and stuff around. But they all should grow eventually. We'll just have like ones with long stalks and stuff, which is exactly what we want. We want that to happen. So that one. This one. Now, at the moment, we've just got oak trees, but the spruce trees are really what I'm excited for, because I love the leaves on spruce trees. I like how they form. The oak trees are there for fillers. The birch tree is there for detail, and the dark oak is also there for detail. Now, we'll probably do single block dark oaks. I think you can do single block dark oaks. By that, I mean not a 2x2 one. I think you could do it. I'm not 100% sure. So how does this look just with birch trees? Just with oak trees, sorry, at the moment. Oh, there's one down here as well. Like that. You see what I mean? It's just covering that up. It's looking already a much more natural island. But then I think if we go around with some spruce saplings now, so we'll have like one here, one there. These are going to be a little bit more rarer, not quite as common as the oak trees. One down here. Let's sort of work on the top and the back side, and then we'll come back round the front. That one, that one, that one, and that one. That one. That one. And then we sort of come around this front a little bit. And do some around here. One right in the middle there would be nice. I don't know if that'll grow. I know that grass was in the wrong spot, but it doesn't matter. There and there. Okay, so we want spruce ones on here. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, so this is exactly how I was imagining it so far. This is actually going really well. I'm very pleased with how it's sort of looking. Let's bone meal that one, because I think I'm going to forget where that one is. Will it grow? It should grow. I know. I tell you what we should have done. We should have done all the other trees first and then finished off with oak, because it seems to me, from my experience, that oak trees seem to grow anywhere, but the other trees seem to be a little bit more fiddly. They don't seem to want to grow as freely as an oak tree does. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, I think, is that all of them? That's all of them. So let's just see if we can bone meal these. Otherwise, we're going to have to start again. And I'll do it off camera, obviously, and just do the other trees first. Come on. Nope. Come on. There we go. Why were some of them blue? Some of the particle effects on that one were blue. You don't want to grow. See, this one doesn't have blue particles. Maybe the blue particles mean that it's going to grow? Or, oh, it's because of the water behind it? Oh, it is. When you've got water behind it, look, you've got blue particles there. How weird is that? What a weird glitch. See, but look at the shape of the trees and the leaves of the trees. They look so nice as a sort of real detailed one. I'll leave the saplings there. Maybe the saplings will grow naturally eventually. Who knows? They might do. Click. Okay, you guys get the gist. I'm going to do this off camera. I'll get the rest of the trees down and I shall be back. I might have to build some manually. Alright, so I'm just doing the second part of the rocks. Now the sort of second area. And definitely the ordering. You need to do spruce first. The dark one, because they're the most pickiest trees. Then do birch, which seem to be just as relaxed as oak trees, as much as where they grow. They don't care where they grow. And oak trees, finally, to sort of span the rest of the area. Once you've done them on top of the rocks, what we're going to do is we're going to go around with only oak and spruce around the edge. Just like a one layer block thick, deep area of trees just around this sort of area on the floor of the island, though, on the actual surface of the island, not on the rocks, and then make these grow. Now these are obviously, being spruce, they are the most pickiest ones, but you just sort of got to keep cracking at it. Some of them seem to grow like no problem, and then some of them, like here, where there is plenty of room to grow, they seem to go, no, I don't want to grow there. But then he'll grow like 2 blocks away. So it's a little bit strange sometimes. So it's just a matter of sort of changing the position slightly until they're happy. See, that one grew and it had like blocks all around it, and then the other ones wouldn't. I don't really get it. I can't see why they just won't grow where you want them to grow. So we've gone around here. Did that one grow? That one must have grown by itself. So let's sort of ruin that one. Once you got the spruce ones, then go around with oak ones. Obviously do more oak ones than spruce ones along these fronts here. They don't care where they grow. I'm personally not doing any birch on the front layer. I'm just sticking with oak and spruce because they're my 2 favourite trees in the game, and I think they look the most natural as far as trees go. They look the most realistic trees. But even on our map now, as you can see, with the trees, we're looking like a pretty realistic, almost looking island. I don't like to use the word realistic in Minecraft, but having the stone underneath the trees on the map looks totally awesome. And as you can see, you end up with something that looks like this. So we've got these sort of rocks below. We had the gravel, we had the stone, or the stony sort of texture, andesite sort of texture, and then the clay just as a third block, and it just works super well. But what do we do next? Well, the next thing that we do is we get some leaves, and we find the leaf that stands out the most. In this case, it's jungle leaves, and we're going to sort of put our own clumps around the sort of lower areas. And we're just sort of going to clump all of this up like this and just spam them about. I know you guys like to do like build your own islands and do your own sort of versions of my series on your own worlds, which is why I'm sort of doing this as like a step-by-step thing, so you guys can sort of easily follow along and do it yourself. So I'm going to first go around the front side and then go around the backside. And whenever we get sort of an area of like giant wall like this, just spam. It doesn't matter how they end up looking. The more natural and the more random it is, generally the better. Have them different sizes, some bigger than others, some smaller than others. It won't make a huge difference to the map, like what it looks like on the map. But as far as when you just look back at a glance and you just see the island, it'll make a huge difference. Just having these little leaves poking out in spots. Here. Obviously, I've got 2 rock formations that I need to do. The more rock formations that you have, the more work that this is going to be for you. But it's so worth it. Even if you have like 6 of them, it's so worth doing because it makes it look so cool. I'll move that one back. And a little one around here. Like that. And then one on this end part of the island. Okay, beautiful. So there's the first island done. Now if we back off, we sort of get the... We sort of have this next step completed. So we see how you just see the little clumps, the little bushes of jungle leaves, and they're just enough different green. They sort of have those sort of like little peppercorns or whatever they're meant to be, apricots in the leaves. I don't know what they're meant to be, saplings or something like that, or seeds. But having that little bit of texture on them just makes them stand out that little bit more. And they have a slightly different green to all the other leaves as well. They're a lot fuller as well. They're not quite as transparent as oak leaves and birch leaves and stuff like that. So yeah, they're the best ones to use as like a standout leaf block. So we'll just go around, oops, around the back here. And here. Beautiful. Let them hang down, let them sort of swoop down and stuff like that. That gets a little bit overgrown. Obviously, the guy that owns this island, he has like a lawnmower and tractors and stuff like that. But you're not going to very easily be able to cut the hedges and the ground around this forest area. You're just not going to be able to get in them. So having it a little bit overgrown gives it so much character. So there's the second thing done. The third step to making these looking really cool is to bone meal the ground, just like 1 layer thick around the outside. And obviously we only have grass on this bottom layer. We don't have them at the top. So all you need to do is sort of just go around the fronts here. And just bone meal it, just so it just sticks out slightly further than the trees. So you want to sort of go around here. Don't go too far away, otherwise you're using up space of the island itself. But just around the edge of the trees there, again, where he can't cut the lawn, he or she can't cut the lawn. I'll have some going down here. And then around the sort of larger rock formationed island, part of it. Sweave in and out of these trees. Have a little sort of space of nothing. There we go. Wow, this is actually a long rock formation. You don't realise it. Oh, and then I just done the final step, I think the final step, of bone mealing some of the grass to make tall grass. So now you just going to walk down and just sort of keep clicking and just sort of spamming some longer grass in there as well. Again, this is just for a little bit. It's not like a necessity detail that you need to do. It's just something that if you want it to really be better than a normal build and you want something special about it, then you sort of want to do those like little parts. Just those long grass parts. Just make it pop up that little bit taller. If you're in a flower forest, which we're not. But if you are in a flower forest, you'll actually, when you bone meal, you'll get all the other sort of flowers as well, all the sort of tulip ones. So they look really nice as well. It's a very nice place to do it in. Yeah, it looks cool. We do have the options to put those flowers down, but I don't think it's really needed. At least not at the moment. Okay, so how's that looking? That's looking like a pretty sick looking island now. We've really increased the look of the island without actually building anything on it. Just putting some sort of natural green has really sort of improved the look. The only thing is I don't know if we've got a completely enough room for the house here, and if we don't, I can easily just move the island and make the island, or you know, make the island a little bit bigger. So I think before we do anything else, we want to work out how big this house is going to be. So let's get rid of our inventory. And I think the blocks that we're going to go for are white stained clay and light grey stained clay. These two blocks, it's going to be sections of it being the lighter one, sections of it being the darker one. Sort of like our Tudor... No, not the Tudor mansion. The first mansion that we done. Let's Build the Mansion series. We used that exact block for it. We're going to be using a lot more light grey though in this one compared to the other one, and it's definitely not going to be as big. It's going to be quite big, but we shall see. So let's say that is the back of the house. It's going to be let's go 1 block away from the trees. That's the back of the house. Now, where do we want the corner of the house to be? I think we can come a little bit more this way if we wanted to. Now, I never worry too much about the shape of the back of the house until the very end. So I'm just doing like a straight line there for the moment. I might terraform some of this grass down a little bit as well. In fact, we can probably do that now to get it out of the way. I want to go from, for the minute, from there. No. How do we want to do this? From here to there. For the minute, we'll do set air. And you sort of want to do this in little chunks so you don't do it wrong. You don't sort of mess up and do something too much. There to there. That one to that one. Round that off a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural, not a straight line. Take these top ones away. Now we have a nice sort of flatter area. We'll do from here to there. Replace dirt with grass. And boom, we have a nice sort of area again. Okay, so we want the house to come this way a little bit and then come out. I'm going to just do white stained clay for most part at the bottom for the minute, and then we'll change to other colours momentarily. Okay, so this is going to be the very left hand side of the house. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, well, this part is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. Yeah, I would go with 7. That sounds like a pretty decent number. And then we're going to come in, and this is going to be where our first window is going to be, right in there. Okay, a nice 2 block wide window. And then we're going to come out with the darker one. I've got a drawing, or a really rough sketch, on how I want this to look. Very rough sketch. It's not actually made it any easier to build when it's this rough. But we're going to have another window in here, a slightly bigger window. We're going to go with a 3 block wide window in here. So this is 5 blocks line in total. And then it's going to drop back a little bit more. I'm going to go back like 4 blocks before we come into this light grey part, or this white stained clay again. Have I said glass today? I might have. This is where the door's going to be. I think I might have a single door, and then we're going to have, let's put the door in so I know exactly where it is, and then we can have a couple of windows in like that. There's going to be a cover over the top of here. I'll show you sort of a little bit more of that in a minute. I'm going to put another block there, and then this is going to be the side of the house. I might have to move this whole house forward a smidge. Oh, we should be okay. We should be okay. So let's have a window in here. And a window in... Oh, yeah, no, it's worked out pretty well. And a window in there. It's not big yet. It will get a little bit bigger. It's not going to be a huge house, though. Obviously, we haven't got the room for a huge house on here. But that is very small, isn't it? That is, like, painfully small. Okay, I'm going to have to sort of do some extension stuff. I mean, we can move it forward quite a fair bit. Let's do that. Let's move the house forward. We can come forward like 6 or 7 blocks. We can still have a path that goes through it. So let's go from there to there. That'll select the whole house and maybe a couple of leaves. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go cut. And then we're going to come forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to come forward 7 blocks. And I'm going to paste again. There we go. So we sort of moved it forward a little bit. I did say that we were going to bring a little bit of junk with us, but it's not so bad. And now we can go back a little bit further. We've still got plenty of room for a nice path to lead around the house. We'll obviously have another door and stuff. Probably have the next door at the back here. I want this to be deeper first. I want this to come back to about here. That's a better size. That's a much better size. Okay, and then there's going to be windows above there, I want. I'm actually going to bring this out this way with no window in there. And it's going to come out this way. This is going to be the sort of widest part of the house. So it's going to come that way to there. Then I think we're going to come with a... No, I'm going to do one block in. One block in, and then I can come out again with the darker block. Like that. Just, I think, a 5-block area again with a 3-block, you know, in the middle. Come back a couple of blocks. Do a small little light area before we then come to another dark area to match up opposite with the other side. And then that joins up. That's better. That's a much better sized house. It's got some nice, a nice shape to it. This is going to be a sort of balcony area around the side. So there'll be sort of, not a door. We want a door in here somewhere. I think we'll have a door right there. Yeah, a door right there. And I don't quite like this. I think I'm going to bring this one back by another block. And then I can make that window, oops, there. And then it's the same. It's 2 blocks on the left and it's 2 blocks on the right. So there's the blueprint of the house. And then the blueprint of the barn, we're going to want to have a red barn. I think it's going to be red clay because I think I prefer the clay red over the wool red. It's going to be over here somewhere. We want the lighthouse as well. Oh, let's do the lighthouse. Do we want the lighthouse on the island or do we want it like on a rock just off the island? I think on a rock just off the island would be good. Let's grab ourselves a tool. And we want to do brush. Sphere. 112. 5. Oops. Just 1 slash. There we go. Pow. So that's going to be where the lighthouse is going to be. We'll do it on a little stone island over here. Like that. It should go on there pretty nicely. Obviously, it needs to be big enough to make sense. Do some sort of bits around here. There we go. That's plenty enough room now to have a lighthouse on the top. If we had the middle point, well, I could just do it myself, can't I? We can go... how do I do this? Cylinder? Hollow cylinder, sorry. Hollow cylinder. 112. 5. No, we want it red clay. What's red clay? 115.14. 115.14. Hollow cylinder. 115.14. 5 blocks in diameter. 3 blocks high. No? 2 slashes? Oh, that was nether wart. 159.14. 159.14. There we go. That just sort of gives us a plan of where the lighthouse is going to go. That might be a little bit too big. We can always make that a little bit smaller. I think I will make that a little bit smaller. Just a smidge. Not much smaller. Just a smidge. Oops. Undo. 4? Yeah, 4 blocks is better. Look at these. How did that even do that? There we go. Got a load of nether wart floating on the floor there. Yeah, that's a nice shape for the lighthouse. And then the barn. I think I want to do the barn more over this area in a sort of flatter spot. So we want to go as close as we can to the trees, which I think is going to be around there. I want a pretty decent sized barn. I think I'm going to go with 3 blocks and then a 5 block door. area, 3 blocks, and then down this side. And I think that's a pretty good size. Is it too short, too stumpy? Yeah, I think it needs to be a little bit longer. 5. I'm going to extend it by another 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's going to be where the barn is. Okay, that's all we've got time for, unfortunately, this episode. I think I'm going to jump into a next episode, though. That might be a little bit too long now. I might have to make that go back a little bit. But that's a huge progression on the island. It looks totally cool in the map view. We can start to really see the island taking shape. I want to do walls, and it's going to look totally awesome. You just got to stick with me. I hope you guys are building your own island as well, because it's a really fun project to do. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe, and we shall see you in the next episode.